So, the question for today is, what's all the hype on that Argon 18 E118 tri-specific UCI legal super ultra lightweight speedster? With the help of PlayTri here in Sarasota, the sponsor of this video, we are going to take this thing out for a test ride. We're going to go over all the components and we're going to tell you what you have to pay and how to get it. You'll find a link down below to PlayTri Sarasota and this bike. But if this is your first time to my channel, hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and get ready for some really great information. Everybody, welcome back to the channel, and what we're taking a look at today is the Argon 18 E118, their newest version into the tri bike world. One of the things that I find to be very impressive on this bike is the cockpit. Now, as we come in and we take a look at what Argon has done with this bike in the cockpit, we see some really nice innovative things. First, I'd like to show you guys is the fully adjustability of this cockpit. And you can take this lower bar and you can flip it over right here at the head unit and become in the aggressive position that it's in now, or flip it over and it moves up about 3 or 4 centimeters and becomes a less aggressive bike for a longer triathlon race. Now you'll also see right here the stack. The stack is really tall on this bike. It is set at 4 inches right now, the highest it can be, but you can see it's adjustable. And then as we move in really close, you can see right here that you can take your aero bars, which are extendable in and out the full length of the bar. You can adjust them up and down using this little gauge. Tells you the degree of your aero bars. The elbow cups on these are really kind of cool. They'll pull you in and hold you in really tight. The aero bars that come stock on it are a turned up aero bar. Kind of my favorite kind of aero bar, because you can take this bar and just lay your arms in the elbow cups, hands on the bars at the front. You don't have to hold on so tight that you start to cramp up in your arms as the race goes on. This particular model is equipped with electronic shifting, both at the ends of the aero bars and also down here by the hand grips. At the back of the cockpit right here, you can see the charging port for the shifters right here is integrated really quite well. Not hidden behind anything, it's not hard to get to. From the integrated charging port moving back on the top tube, you can see right here where they have the ability to mount a bento box. Now, tri bikes generally come with a very poor quality seat. This one comes with the ISM PN 3.1 split front saddle, so you don't have a whole lot of purchasing you have to do there. This should be able to be adjusted to fit just about anybody. You will see right here in the frame on the down tube and on the seat tube, there's mounts for more water bottles, so you're able to carry 2 water bottles here, add one between the aero bars and one behind the seat, and you have the ability to carry a lot of hydration for those longer races. One of the things I found that's really cool on this bike is right here, and this is a little nipple that's built into the seat tube, and that's where you mount your rear hydration. A company called X Labs makes a hydration system. You can see right here the bar on this system that plugs directly into the hole and puts your rear mount behind your seat, regardless of whatever saddle you have on there. You'll find a link to X Lab down below in the description. They also make this really cool pouch that you can put on the back behind that mount system, and that way you can keep your bottle cool and put all of your tools in there all in one shot and know that it's mounted, stays there regardless of whatever saddle you happen to have on, if you don't stay with the ISM saddle. As we work our way down, we find the transmission of the Speedster is an Ultegra Di2. This is Shimano's mid-range transmission that they put on these bikes. This bike comes standard with that Di2 electronic shifting. This bike is an 11-speed. Don't have to say much about the Ultegra setup because Shimano has been doing the electronic shifting for longer than anybody else, and they've done a great job at taking all the bugs and the kinks out of this system. ultra fast shifting, ultra smooth, and ready to go right when you buy the bike. Right from the factory, this bike comes equipped with a very high quality set of head, Jet 9 on the back, and Jet 6 on the front wheels with Vittoria Corsica tires, ready to go, ready to race straight from the factory. Argon 18 saved you a few dollars on the Ultegra setup for the transmission. They have stepped it up and put Dura-Ace disc brakes on this bike so that you can take this Speedster and get it stopped on a dime. So this is the part of the review that I get super pumped about, and that's the test ride. I get to ride this Speedster, this absolute great super bike that I've done a lot of research on, and I'm really excited about getting on this great handling bike. So what we're going to do is my standard test of a bike, and there's a loop around Play Tri Sarasota where I'm going to take this bike and do 2 loops. The first loop is going to be at 150 watts. Then I'm going to take a second lap and do that all out to see what kind of power and what kind of handling and speed I can get out of this beautiful bike. We're ready to go. This is going to be fun. Boom. See ya. All right, now we're going to get ready to do this test. I can't believe they're letting me ride this bike. This is going to be awesome, guys. And we're out. All right, so that's the end of lap 1, 150 watts. This thing handles like a dream. Pretty aggressive, a little more aggressive than what I'm used to, but I'm loving this bike. The disc brakes, the electronic shifting, everybody told me that's the way to go, and it is. Off for lap 2. This is all out here, guys. Here we go. What an amazing ride. I'm going for another lap. I don't care if I'm not supposed to. Hey, welcome back. It was really fun riding that amazing bike. If you like what you saw and you want to see more content like that, support my channel. Drop down below, hit subscribe, ring the notifications bell, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. That all helps me to be able to bring you some more great content. But now, on to the summary. We're going to take a look at the 150 watt lap. This is a 3.09 mile lap. I've got a map up here showing you what the loop looked like. And at the top end, the north end of this loop, you're going to see there's a little wiggly section. That's a very bumpy section, very curvy section of the road, about a quarter mile long. That was kind of a slower section. Now we're going to look at these 2 charts right here. One, you're going to see the bike itself. It really doesn't like not having a lot of power put to it. It was really hard to keep this bike under 150 watts. You can see the spikes in the power curve on that one, but I really did nail it. I got the 150 watts on the normalized power, so it's giving me a real good test of the lap. At 150 watts, at a lower power, this bike transferred a lot of vibration up through the seat and up through the handlebars, but this is a very stiff, fast bike, meant to go fast and have a lot of power put down. Ended up averaging 20 miles per hour right on the nose for this loop, which I've done this loop a ton of times, and I know that was a really good solid lap. But now let's compare that to the all-out time trial lap. This was a really kind of an interesting lap for me. I jumped out and I really pushed it hard to accelerate hard as I came off the first corner, pushed real hard with the tailwind, made the far corner, and then just pushed hard just like I would be doing in a time trial of that distance if I was racing in a pure straight on time trial race. So what was I able to do? I was able to pull 218 normalized power watts. That's a bunch extra, a bunch. That was 68 more watts around that lap, because this bike really loves the power being put to it. 1.7 mile an hour faster. That was an added, close to 10% speed, and 45 seconds off the lap. This bike really goes real strong on the straights. accelerates hard off the corners, vibration virtually gone, but I do have to say, the cornering was a little mushy, not quite up to the advertised handles like a road bike. On that time trial lap, it did put the power to the ground. I would love to be able to get that a little closer to my fit and see how it would go with a more perfect fit. So, what are my final thoughts? What are my assessments on the Argon 18 E118 Tri Plus? Hey, it's available in multiple sizes to fit multiple people. It only does come in one color that I found. That's kind of a real kind of strange deal. Weight, bike is very light for a time trial or triathlon bike. There's not a lot of carbon fiber in there because of the ICU legal. It is 265 grams lighter than the last version of the model E118. I'm going to say weight-wise, we're going to give it a 5 out of 10. Handling on this bike was better than most tri bikes would be, but they advertise it as a road bike feel. And I ride a road bike a lot. I ride a tri bike a lot. I don't find that this has a road bike feel. It handles better than most tri bikes I've ever ridden. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 for handling. Climbing is something that's very important. I'm here in Florida in the flat areas, and I just pretty much have to go into the headwinds and see how I feel in the headwinds. When I tried to stand up and push into the headwind on this bike to feel like a climbing situation, I could not stand up. It was too aggressive. I had to stay in the saddle. I had to stay down low. I really wouldn't want to take it as it was set up into the hills, but that might just have been a bike fit more than anything. So I'm going to leave that one kind of open in the air, but like it was, I wouldn't take it to the hills. That's a 3 out of 10 for climbing. Components, we talked about that earlier. Solid 8. Braking, even better. Solid 9. Wheel set, I'm never have been a big fan of head wheels. These are just plain old head wheels, just like every other one. Transfers vibration, very, very loud. They get a 3. Intangibles. This is where this bike shines. If you are a time trialist who dabbles in triathlon racing, or a big power bike guy in triathlon racing that likes to go out and do time trial racing, this being ICU legal makes this the perfect bike for that power biker who does a crossover between the time trial and the triathlon racing. That gets a solid 8 for intangibles. Before I tell you how much you're going to pay for this Speedster, take a look at these videos right here. When you're done, after I give you this price, and are you ready for this? This bike is priced right where it needs to be. You get all of what we saw in hand for $8,000 at our local Play Tri, the sponsor. We want to thank them so much for coming on board and allowing us to test any equipment that we want to in their store. This is Coach John. Boom. I'm out.